Hello guys, this is Jenia and welcome back to my channel and certainly welcome to our new home. This is the first video in this house. It's going to be of me cleaning and unpacking mostly. You seem to have enjoyed my moving series, starting with choosing and buying this house and then decluttering our old one together with packing and moving, and now finally landing in our new spot and starting to unpack. Let me add, there is going to be some cleaning. This house of our dreams definitely came with some surprises. Not that I expected it to be perfect, but certain areas were just gross. It is definitely still the house of our dreams. It has beautiful nature and fruit garden outside, and that's why I fell in love with it in the first place. And on the inside, it is very cute and clean on the surface. But if you dig a little, there is definitely a need for deep cleaning everywhere. Obviously right now it is stuffed with boxes everywhere, especially downstairs, and I promise you there is a house under those boxes. So I did get a little puzzled as to where to start first. Is it cleaning the gross spots all over the house, or is it unpacking all the necessary items and settling down a little first? But I decided to just go ahead and start doing both simultaneously and see how much I can manage. After all, there is no rush at this point. We, just like a lot of you I'm sure, have a good chunk of our lives that we will spend at our current home, so I myself would like to slow down at this point a little bit and clean everything little by little and when I get to it. For me, normally, no matter how much I have to tackle in a day, I do my best to try and make a very small to-do list for myself, just picking the priorities for the day, because I found that the less I have to do, the more I will actually end up doing. Because this way, when I'm done with my short to-do list, it turns into some kind of game for me. I just want to do a little bit extra and a little bit extra because normally I'm already motivated and in the mood for cleaning. But whenever I see a very long to-do list, it just depresses me and makes me want to just put it off and not deal with it, at least today. But for those who are new, welcome. I am Jenia. I come from Russia and I have moved to this wonderful country way over 10 years ago. I married my American husband over 3 years ago, and then we had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and got us a beautiful cat as well. Now that we just moved to this new house with a backyard, which we were dreaming about for a long time, we're going to continue growing our 2 kids here and hopefully some fruits and vegetables as well. On my channel you will find plenty of cleaning, organizing and decluttering motivation. I also normally prefer to do things on a budget if I can. I'd absolutely love to charge you with some good energy and motivation for the day, and if you happen to not be in your quite best mood today, I am hoping this video will give you some distraction from any kind of negative thoughts you may be having or whatever it is that you have to go through. On my to-do list on that day, I think I had just a couple of things, major things, like clean up the countertop on the kitchen from boxes so that I can cook and actually cook something. I don't know about you, and please don't get offended if you're a fast food lover. I am not so much. My husband and my daughter definitely are, and in the last few days, more like a week now, we have been eating nothing but restaurant and fast food. I'm not trying to be spoiled here or complain about life, but I've just missed my home-cooked meals, and I'm sure at least my son did as well. And I'm not a pro at cooking either. It's a relatively new skill that I have developed recently in the last few years, ever since I started having kids, and before that I just never had any kind of encouragement, to be honest. I was discouraged a few times by a couple of people whenever I tried to cook something without having an idea what I'm doing and just going with, just trying things out. I was discouraged by them obviously not liking it and telling me to my face, so I stopped and never tried it again until I had to with my kids, and I could care less whether somebody liked it or hated it as long as my kids would eat it. That's how I started cooking, and that's how I learned new recipes, and that's how I just became an actual mother that cooks, and I would never believe that I would be one day. So let me know in the comments, are you a good cook or are you an occasional cook? Do you cook well or not? Do you like cooking or not? And do you have to cook for your family? And I understand that sometimes a job can be an obstacle here because you just simply might not have the time to cook. But either way, do you prefer cooking for yourself or your family, or do you prefer just getting it from elsewhere, nice and easy, pre-made meals, or maybe frozen stuff, or maybe fast food restaurants? Right now I'm just giving you a little bit walk through the house upstairs, and this is the guest room, which might turn out to be also kind of my quiet room where I can go away from everybody, which I did not have before. There is so much to plan, think about, organize, and do makeovers of the different rooms in the house, which we're really excited about. And there is just so much to come all together, and right now I don't want to get overwhelmed with thinking about all of that stuff. All I'm trying to do is just unpack a little bit, and I'm opening up the boxes to see what room they belong in, what stuff I have in them, and what kind of things I'm dealing with, just to have a general idea. And then things and boxes with necessary stuff I'm just going to throw into the rooms that they belong in, and then just go into the kitchen and start unpacking this part, because that's where all the action really is at the end of the day. At this moment in time, I didn't have any cleaning products unpacked yet, and I overlooked the fact that I should have put an all-purpose cleaner into my first night at the house box, where I had all the necessities for the arrival. So to start with, I will just mix my dishwashing soap I found with some water, and that is a brilliant chemical-free all-purpose cleaner in itself. The one thing in my old house I definitely could not complain about is my big, huge walk-in pantry, where I could keep all the items that I didn't even need, just due to having space. So now that's going to be fixed, definitely. Now that I have this little pantry, it's not that little, it's a normal size pantry, but I just have to downsize and that'll be okay. As of right now, my strategy is this: just place things wherever I feel they should be in right now, as of this moment, and then see how they are, maybe play with them around a little bit and rearrange them a little bit and see what kind of organizers I need. And in fact, I shouldn't need any organizers because I have plenty of containers from the dollar store, and that'll work just fine if I think outside the box, watch some YouTube videos, and make up some DIY organizers. I think that's the best route I could possibly take right now, to just try and spend a little less money in the near future. And because containers and organizers can get pretty pricey if they're pretty and good quality especially. But nobody is stopping me from thinking outside of the box and placing some hooks on the walls and on the doors of the pantries, and gluing some containers together, painting them, or whatever it is that I have to do to make them look pretty and functional, and organize my kitchen that way. But first things is to take everything out of boxes and place the things where I think they should be comfortable in.
I know, man, passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. reach out to the sky.
You can see the difference between the boxes that were packed at the beginning and these last ones where everything is just thrown into the box just to get the things in and get out of the house because we were running out of time. Now my daughter definitely found something that she was interested in trying on, and that is my cow outfit, and she was getting annoyed because it wasn't fitting her properly. But I wanted to take just a little break and show you a part of our backyard with the bamboo that we now have, and also have to figure out how to take care of it properly because it's not as easy as it may seem. It grows very fast and all over, and then you have to cut it regularly, and it's not the easiest thing to cut at all. It's almost like cutting steel, I would say. There was a couple of baby bamboos that I was trying to cut with my heavy-duty cutting tool, and it was really difficult. I did cut it though, but it was really difficult. Also an interesting note that this bamboo and a lot of other types of bamboo all over America actually come from North America and not imported from somewhere else. But we're now back in the kitchen, and this is day number 2. I'm just showing you where we left off yesterday and what we're going to be starting with today. I'm going to need to put the rest of the stuff away in the kitchen, or at least try and put as much as I can away, and show you and prove to you that there is a kitchen under all of those boxes. And also we need to deep clean some of those disgusting surprises that I came across in this new house. The previous owners left a bunch of those outlet plugins. I don't use those, so I don't know what they are. I'm assuming they're air fresheners, and I don't know why do we need that many. I'll figure that out later. But I love the fact that this is built like a desk in the kitchen, which is very convenient because I can just use that as my computer desk here in the kitchen while sipping my morning coffee, and I think a lot of us end up doing just that, which is working in the kitchen. My husband has already asked me a couple of times when I can start painting the kitchen cabinets white or just light color. This house has a sort of older style, but it was really well done at that time. So the tiles in the house might be outdated and the colors of the walls might be not trending right now, but this is why we wanted this house, is because we can make it our own by doing changes with our own hands and doing the makeovers that we need and deciding on the colors that we want in the house in the end. So as long as the house has good bones, we are happy. As far as the kitchen is concerned, I actually don't even mind the way it is right now. I just can't believe I have such a big kitchen, and if I painted it white, I can't imagine how much bigger it would look. That would be amazing, and I think I'll end up doing that eventually. But my husband was also just obsessed with the look of the kitchen in our old house after I painted it white, because before I painted it, it was just like this one, brown, and it was also small, and then I painted it white and it seemed just so much bigger all of a sudden. So it was just a huge transformation, and I think he was always in love with that one. That was also the first ever project for me of that size. Like painting the kitchen seemed crazy to me at that time, and it was the big project, but I was worried if it was going to turn out okay. And not only did it turn out wonderful, but it didn't cost us that much at all. It cost me $177 to paint that whole kitchen, including the new hardware that we had to buy. So if you're interested in checking that video out right after this one, I'll put it on the screen for you at the end of this one. I am so glad to have this huge Lazy Susan, in fact 2 of them, the top and the bottom. But how do you clean it though? I mean, how do you clean underneath the Lazy Susan? I'm gonna try and figure that out, and I will get it cleaned underneath there, but it was tricky.
I'm a little bit naughty, I'm a little bit too consumed, but every part of my body is telling me to run away from you. Come a little bit closer, yeah, yeah. Come a little bit closer, yeah. You're a little bit crazy. It's been days, but you never change. What's love got to do with it? He comes around, better knock that stuff down. Come a little bit closer, yeah, yeah. Come a little bit closer, yeah. To all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right.
There is no rhyme or reason in the pantry right now, just everything kind of thrown into it for a later organization on a budget. Right now, throwing everything into the pantry and just unpacking the whole kitchen, I only have one main thought in my head, and that is to keep the kids away from the things that they should be kept away from and put those things up in the shelves or somewhere obviously unreachable.
I'm scared you're gonna blow your fuse. Come a little bit closer, yeah. I can really start over, yeah. In the back of my mind, there's someone waiting on me. You're just wasting my time because you're scared and lonely. Finally got some closure, yeah. I can finally start over.
Like I mentioned earlier, I have never had a Lazy Susan of that size and never had to clean under it, so if you have any tips or tricks on how to actually clean it, let me know in the comments, because from what I googled, I couldn't find much useful information. Maybe I should do a little bit more research. But the way that I did it actually did get all of the crumbs from under the Lazy Susan, which is putting the microfiber cloth under the spinning table and then spin the Lazy Susan all the way around and get the microfiber cloth out with all the crumbs.
You left me. I'm glad that's what you believe. To all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye bye. I'm too fly. I'm too fly. Oh, bye bye, bye bye. U-G-L-I, that's how you spell goodbye. U-G-L-I, you'll never see me cry. U-G-L-I, that's how you spell it. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.
Okay, I know I mentioned earlier that I am not the most experienced cook, but please don't mistake that plate at the edge of the table for some kind of special meal of mine. That was my daughter's attempt to make her own soup with some spices. Yummy.
Cutting my ties with you that I'm done. Here's what you don't know. Feelings, they grow slow. I've just been caring for mine. Now I can feel it. Now I believe it. Baby, tonight is the night. I'm gonna call you up in the name of love. Gonna call you up and tell you.
By the way, I know that some of you may be wondering about my cat. My 3-year-old female cat has been an indoor cat for most of her life until about a few months ago when she just started enjoying outdoors, and it has not been a problem in our old house. Maybe just some minor issues, like she would disappear for a long time and she wouldn't need as much attention from me as she did when she was an indoor cat, and sometimes I would just miss her. So I didn't like some of those things, but all in all it was okay. But now that we moved into this new house with much wilder nature outdoors, I have not been comfortable letting her outside any longer. There can be coyotes outside or whatever else that is dangerous for her. I am just not ready, at least not now. But the good news is that for a few days that she has been staying indoors, she has been happy just exploring the new place, and she hasn't even thought that there's a whole world outdoors yet, I think. But I also have been noticing some major positive changes in her behavior, such as she has not been crying by the window to just go outdoors from the moment anybody wakes up, to the moment that everybody goes to sleep. She turned into an affectionate cat that actually wants to be pet and wants to sleep with you and wants to be held, and just like a cat is supposed to be. Whereas comparing to before, when she used to go outside, I would hardly ever see her, and when I saw her, she just didn't want to really have anything to do with me. And by no means am I judging anybody who lets their cats outdoors. I think it's a wonderful thing for the cats to be outdoors. They love it, they enjoy that, but I just don't think my cat really can handle it, or maybe I can't handle it. It's just not the best idea in my situation, I think. Either way, it's too soon to make any kind of conclusions so far about her behavior, so we'll just see how it goes and go from there. But so far, I just think I'm gonna make her a catio and or get her a friend, which is another pet of her kind or maybe of a dog kind. Not sure yet, but that's an option.
I'm out of reasons, I'm out of rhyme, but I'll only tell you that I'm out of time. I'm sick of love songs.
For this very first time cleaning this bathroom, I didn't mind using something a little bit stronger like Clorox to make sure that this bathroom just really gets a good wipe throughout. I'm gonna replace this toilet brush that was here in this bathroom with a new one. I have ordered a few for all the bathrooms in the house, so I'm going to replace all of the toilet brushes in all of the bathrooms. I already have one brand new toilet brush on me somewhere in the boxes. I just have to find it and then I'll put it in here while I wait for the other two to arrive so that I can replace them in the bathrooms upstairs.
I'm waiting around for something real. I'm going crazy, like what's the deal? 'Cause I want you to show me what you feel. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me with the way that you keep playing. Show me your love like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like your face.
I really wanted to deep clean the kitchen floors, but I didn't have any of my mops unpacked yet, so I just decided to give it a quick wipe with a microfiber cloth. But I also do actually like just wiping the floors manually sometimes because it's just, I find it satisfying. Plus, I used to do it in my old house as well. Although the kitchen was much smaller, so the floors were tiny, but still, I just prefer doing it manually. Sometimes there is no preparation required. You just get down on your knees and wipe the floors.
Open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. Inside your bedroom, we stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm.
I am gonna get to the sink in a little bit, and here's your warning, it's going to be extremely disgusting. I did include a little capture of it in the preview of this video, so you might have an idea of what we're gonna be dealing with, but here I'm gonna be including a little bit more of a detailed view, so in case you get disgusted by things like that, here's your warning, you might not want to continue watching at this point, I don't know, but it's going to be really disgusting. My cat is a little bit confused as to where her place is in the kitchen. Also, I do have to feed her on one of the tables in the kitchen because of the baby that we have, and she's just gonna eat her food in no time. So she's just figuring it out.
Listen to dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight up. I'm a sucker for hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Your blood is pumping. I feel it in your veins, surfing your heat waves.
In case you have been watching my channel for a while, you might remember the black over-the-sink organizer that I had in our old house. And of course I still have it and I absolutely am in love with it. It was the most practical thing I've ever used and somebody gave to me. But I don't know if it's gonna look good on this island. It's just going to be the center of attention, and you don't want your kind of drying plates and cups to be the center of attention. I don't think I do. So I don't know if I'm gonna place it over here yet, but I'm not gonna waste it either. I think I might put it in our laundry room because we have a sink in there now. But if you have any ideas or suggestions, maybe you can think of something, please don't hesitate to leave it to me in the comments. I love that organizer and I'm just not sure how to utilize it in this house.
I'm a sucker for hearts. Oh my God, I'm a fool. Thought I'd never fall into you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so cruel how I'm loving the things you do. Ooh, yeah. Oh, my God, you know you're playing your cards so right. Oh, I'm a sucker for hearts, listen to dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I'm a sucker for hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. On the rooftop, your lips on my flowers, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I'm a sucker for hearts.
In case you're not aware yet that this rubber drain stopper in your sink actually comes out, then I would suggest you pull it out and see what's inside. Just pull it out using thongs because that's safer, and see how disgusting it gets. I learned it from one of the comments from one of you guys, and thank you so much for telling me that. These people definitely did not know that this thing comes out, and just like I didn't know, I'm not blaming them. They just simply did not know, obviously. Right now, at this second, I'm just gonna clean it as much as I can with whatever I have on hand at the moment, which is Clorox, some dishwashing soap, I think, and the sponge, which I'm going to throw away after this cleaning, obviously. But once I get my baking soda and vinegar and a couple of minutes of time, a little bit more time on my hands, I'm going to give it a good, proper, deep cleaning of both of these sinks, actually, because it is obviously very much required here in the kitchen. And I'm afraid to even start looking inside the bathroom sinks because they are a little bit slow, and I don't know if these women ever cleaned them inside, because it was just two women living in this house before us, so I don't expect for them to know all the plumbing issues in this house. But the sinks are pretty slow, so I'm assuming there's some kind of blockage in there. On the outside, the house is clean, but like I said at the beginning of this video, on the inside there is a lot of surprises that I'm gonna have to be dealing with. I'm just gonna refill this soap bottle of mine with this liquid soap that I now get from Walmart. It's just so much cheaper. And I'm gonna have to start coming up with some ideas for organizing this kitchen in a pretty but a very inexpensive and very money-saving way. Like, I need to upgrade these soap bottles for a start, for example, and I am excited for all the changes and upgrades and little updates that I'm going to be doing. But for now, I just want to show you the after pictures and then also start the dishwasher, which I never did. I loaded it but never pressed the start button, and also show you this dishwasher of ours because we ordered a new one and we're pretty excited to get it sometime in the near future. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave me a comment if you like, and I'll see you next week, and have a wonderful weekend.